Hey, it's Rick again, and in this section we're going to be looking at the system settings. So we're actually going to be looking at some of the VCDAO system settings. So to get to that section, we're going to be in the VCDAO administration menu, and we're going to click on admin, and then we're going to go into system settings. Now, most of the stuff here is already set, but there is some things that you might want to adjust, okay? Like for example, uh, your default local time, depending on what time zone you're in. Might want to sync it so you have no issues with your call times. You want to make sure that the calls can be received by the agents. Also, you want to make sure that the agent API is active. This allows for the schedule tool to work. Make sure that the central sound control is active. That way your music on hold and um, your IVRs work properly. Also, another thing to look at is your sound web server. It's got to be the same IP or URL as your server. That way you can use the audio store, the music on hold, your call menus and everything will work. This needs to be set like that. Also, another thing you can set here is the auto dial limit. If you want to make sure that you don't want to go over a certain amount of calls per agent, to dial. So I normally set them to 4 in case you want to really put some turbo boost on that, but normally it'll be set around 3. And everything else over here, we're not really going to mess with too much, not yet at least. Um, if you're going to use this default phone registration password, this is where you set it, or a default phone login. This is where you would set everything right here. Okay, so and also if you do have an issue and there is a change in the dial plan and it doesn't come into effect right away, with this section right here, you just hit the one over here and submit, and it will reload the dial plan, and your dial plan should work properly if you have entered a new one. So now we look into the system settings. There is one more. Let's look at servers. Here we'll give you the basic server information, the IP address it is, the version of Asterisk that is loaded, the trunk capacity, the max calls per second. You also will see also here that you have to set the local time, the time zone for the server. And it also allows you to, if you're having issues with the music on hold that you just uploaded a new file and it doesn't work properly, sometimes you have to just rebuild it and do an update on the sounds. Also here you can add custom dial plan, and you can set your VCDAO recording limit, which means that if you have expecting long calls, the default setting is 1 hour that will record the call. After 1 hour cut off, you can set it for 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever you need to. Okay, and we looked at the system settings.